Gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble. Alright, cool. Anyways, alright, guys, so let's start it off. We got time and date, Arizona time. We gotta start off with S&P in the weekly. Monthly ones, we already know we're all time high. Second of all, monthly wise, that's where your last month closed. Notice how with this pour that we had this morning, it ended up going right exactly. So it's giving you a warning already. It gave the market a warning this morning. That's pretty much what that was to me. Since I already made a path through it, tomorrow that shit could just like nothing. Especially there's a tendency when you have candles like this on a down on a going down the way they look. Anyways, let's move on. So another thing to pay attention to, I want you guys to pay attention to how we got 2 more days, but notice how today we're holding right against that weekly resistance. This is what's holding. Imagine there's a box right here. We're inside that box and we gotta try to break it. So all this is telling me that tomorrow we're gonna either complete it or it's what not gonna save us because we have a lot of. First of all, I think Trump is having um, a meeting. I think and it's gonna start like around 9 in the morning. There's a tweet about it. I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah, right here. The White House schedule for Thursday, August 21st, 2025, as published today. In town pool at 9, and then at 11, they're gonna have this, and then I think at 4 o'clock, whatever there may be, I'm guessing 2 or 3. He's supposed to announce something. So besides the data, they're gonna be paying attention. What are they gonna talk about it? Most likely gonna do with either. I wouldn't be surprised if it involved Ukraine in it, since this whole time there's been news and articles how the European leaders and the clown are coming together and talk about Ukraine and how much. So since that's going on, either he's gonna announce something about Ukraine. Also, there's been that tweet about him, not a tweet, but there's been that video of him circulating saying how Putin might have a deal for him, a crazy deal. It's a hot mic. Supposedly Trump was heard saying that. On top of that, he was getting with the European leaders. So I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow he mentions something about Ukraine war, and especially a day before the week closing. But then you have Jackson. Jackson's really gonna be the main attraction for this week. But the market right now is telling you, yo, we're about to either dump more a little bit more, and either Jackson's gonna save us, or Jackson is gonna be the cherry on top to fucking make this baby keep on dropping and finally break that monthly um, support that he just tested this morning. Let me tell you what I'm talking about. See? So you see how today it went all the way down to it. It's giving you a little taste of it. That's what the market is telling you. Hey, here's a little taste of what might happen tomorrow or this Friday. Or even worse, as if tomorrow brings us back to that price and Jackson Powell doesn't say whatever we want to hear, this baby is gonna crack and you're gonna see more fucking fall. And it's actually gonna be good for a lot of people. Second of all, we have 50 Fibonacci daily right here in the bottom. So again, as the market goes down tomorrow, if we have bad news, if we been break it, pay attention to 8:30. I mean 8:45 or 7:45 to 8:30, and then at noon, pay attention to 11:45 to 12:30. That's when the market is either gonna correct because at the hopes of Jackson, just what it did today. Today the market dropped, and around your 8:45 to 9, it started correcting and started pretty much ended up where we were yesterday. I'm gonna show you right now what I'm talking about. Now let's go to a 12-hour candle. Again, another 12-hour candle, 50 Fibonacci. So it's telling you where the main support, the main key area to hold is at. Because you have a daily and a 12-hour candle pretty much in the same area. On top of that, that's where the month closed this last month. So I was just telling you guys to, on top of that, I'm gonna give you, so my indicator right here is telling you, hey, yeah, this is your cushion. You need to hold this cushion, otherwise you're gonna go back down and test that 50 Fibonacci easily. And the fact that you are having the market keep right here, besides the support that you have right here, is because tomorrow, if you see my description, there's a bunch of data coming out tomorrow. There's unemployment claims. Anyways, if you go to the descriptions, you're gonna see how all the bullshit that I have there that's gonna be coming out this morning. So if we start dropping this morning, this price right here, I'll go more into the 1 hour candle to show you more details. Don't be surprised if we hit either some sort of daily or weekly support. And as we get closer to 3 and 4, the market's gonna start going on up, hoping the day is gonna be good, but it's gonna be very volatile because instead of the whole data coming out at 5:30 or 6 before the market opens, it's gonna be all across. There's gonna be at 5:30, at 7, then another one at 8. So it's gonna be, the market's gonna be very volatile. Not just that, you're gonna have Trump news all over the place. How he said this, or trust me, the market's gonna be very volatile tomorrow. So I'll be really cautious, day trading wise. But your sweetest time to really make a trade will be at nighttime right now. If you're able to have access to S&P 500 or Nasdaq or Bitcoin or Ethereum. Because they're all showing you the same thing. Watch, I'm gonna go from S&P, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and they even have a 3 candle box in a daily. I'll explain what the fuck that is. My bad for cussing you guys, but now let me go to the 8 hour candle. See right here, you had a 3 candle box. I'm gonna explain what the 3 candle box. So 1, 2, 3. What you do is the first one will give you the support. The second one will give you your resistance. You'll box it up. Depending what time you're on, since it was an 8 hour candle, you pay attention to either the last 3 hours of the last 3 hours of this 8 hour candle, or at least check where the 4 hour candle closed, and then pay attention to your last 2 hours of the last 4 hour candle for this 8 hour candle to complete, if that makes sense. So let me erase this shit and explain to you guys what I mean by that. So what I would do is I would mark off the resistance, and normally for 8 hour candle I mark it as blue, blue, and blue. Next thing you know, I box it up, but make sure if okay, so right here, 12 hour candle, we closed right here, which is gonna be yellow, and this one right here, which is technically a 12 hour candle now, support or resistance. And then so I'll go back here, and then I'll pay attention to this right, it's 6 in the morning. Let me go back. So the fact that at 6 in the morning we break, now you as a trader, you're seeing this, you're seeing, oh look, we're in the 4 hour candle here, we broke support, it's about to break support, we broke in the 4 hour candle, outside of it, we tested it, and then now they're hoping that this candle is gonna go back down and shoot back down. But now they're fucked right here. So either they're gonna hold, or they're holding here, thinking it's gonna continue going down, or they're gonna get fucked during the nighttime as it starts going down, up. It could also go down, but I had to go back down to all of the bullshit that I had before and whatnot, because time is very important. Your time, first of all, you want to see where we close a 4 hour candle, which obviously we're most likely gonna close it right here because we have 15 minutes, so that's still bullish. Second of all, we gotta pay attention to then 11:45, 12:30 to really see where the market's gonna end up going the next 4 hour candles upwards, or if we're gonna have some sort of we're gonna come back down, test right here, and then put my indicator. Let me see something real quick. But I had to have my bullshit up. Damn it, never mind. Anyways, let me go back to this. 4 hour candle. So right here, yeah. So right here, traders are worried. They don't know, should I take my loss? Should I still leave it? And even my indicator is telling me, hey, look, this is your entry. This is your key center point. There's your stop loss, and there's your entries. Doesn't mean it's gonna happen, but just indicating you that this is your main area, and I can even see it. How even though you go, the higher you go, the higher concentrates in that area. And then plus where it's at in the middle, then these lines help me out to identify what type of support these are. Since I know this is a 12-hour candle support, that I know it's gonna be tougher to fall down. Or, anyways. So let me go back to having on my bullshit. So no, actually no. Let me explain this 4 hour candle. So now let me go to the 1 hour candle. So as this candle was holding on here you have your 6 o'clock, but it's still active. It was still active and ended up closing all the way over here. So even though it was it it dropped, it closed inside of the 3 candle box, which that's still bullish. Cause if it was really a down move, it would have closed right fucking hard. It would have held that pressure on down and close there, signaling you, yeah, we're gonna going down. The fact that it dropped all that, came back up to the same area, the same key area that the indicator is telling you that's your entry, is telling you that the market is now bullish because now we have all this data coming up in the morning. It's not scary no more. It took all the fear happened in the morning. The big guys came, they bought all that shit, and then now they're whatever they're doing because they know what the fuck's going on behind the scenes. That's why the market ended up buying all this shit. Otherwise, the market was really scared with that S&P 500. That shit would have just dropped and held it. But since it's manipulated, they do this shit for a fucking reason. So now, since we have this 3 candle box still active, because it's not done, it's still active, you gotta pay attention to this 8 hour candle. This 8 hour candle has 1 hour left. Actually, my bad. Yeah, 1 hour left. So this is bullish as fuck, you guys. The fact that you have this next 4 hour candle, this next 8 hour candle that was holding this whole time, that could have dropped the whole time, was holding for 8 more hours after this one. Again, the market is still indicating you, yo, there's still some hope. Otherwise, they're not stupid. Investors right now, the market would have been dropping like crazy. Just like the DeepSeek bullshit happened during the nighttime, you see the S&P 500 just fucking drop like crazy because the news was coming out. So because it was in fear because of they knew that once the market opened in the morning, the market was gonna fucking even tank even more or whatnot. Anyways, let me get back to this shit. See, you had another 3 candle box forming right here. So anyways, 4 hour candle. So see, my indicator right here is telling me that in the 1 hour candle for S&P 500, there's a strong resistance zone right here. And that's why you can see every time the market went up to this area, it keeps rejecting. So that's why now time is gonna be very important, and this zone is gonna be very important, because we're gonna want, we're gonna close right here at 10. So from 10 to 2 o'clock, this is gonna be the area to pay attention to. So if by 11:45, 12:30, we're still down here, we're most likely gonna come back down and have a little test down to that 50. And around right here, we should be around probably 3 in the morning or 2, 3 in the morning. And as the market comes up, this is going to be a key area again. The market's going to go back in here again. And a bunch of traders, investors, whatever, whatnot, are going to fucking go in this trade right here, hoping the data is going to come back. But again, it's going to be a bunch of data coming out. It's not going to be all at one time. Like, that's what I normally like. When there's like 5, 4 data, 3 data coming out at 5:30, I love it because you get to see how the market is gonna react then once the market opens. But this time you have data all across the whole day or whatnot, so it's gonna be very volatile, you guys. But yeah, that's pretty much what's gonna happen. You're gonna have right here 11:45, 12:30. We're gonna come down here, test these prices as the market opens. It's gonna go back up, so it's gonna keep. It's gonna be a good idea to go for a buy as a trader, um, and get out of here because right here it's gonna be pretty much volatile, whatnot. I'm gonna go back and see where all the important key areas, weeklies, resistance are at. That way I can give you more. But pretty much it's gonna happen right now. Otherwise, right now, it's gonna shoot up here. We should be here by like 11:45, 12:30. Then it should be here hopefully like at 2. But again, I have to go back to see where my weekly resistance are at, whatnot. And then yeah, but 2, I gotta go. But pretty much there's gonna be a target by if we have good news. Um, it could be as 6:30, 7 o'clock, but then it depends how the data came out. Again, I'm gonna go back and put all my bullshit up because I can't really give you a good analysis without my boxes and my Fibonacci. They're not fucking bullshit. So I know I bored you a bunch of you guys for this shit. All right, not just that, you guys. So if tomorrow we have that bad news, we're gonna come back down, and we're on a weekly trend right here. So look, let me show you what I mean by this. If we go to the weekly, there's a trend that's been happening right here, an uptrend. You see it right here? This right here, going upwards. And on that same trend, my bad for all this shit. That same trend line is right here. So that makes sense for tomorrow. If we do have bad news, we're gonna come down, test these regions, but we will most likely break it. And since we have the Jackson whatever bullshit, the market will probably do this again tomorrow if we fall. The market will drop, we'll close here most likely, and then after 2 p.m. it's gonna try to recover and going up. That's if we have bad news. Now, if we drop below the trend line to the daily right here, then there's gonna be most likely a drop for the day, and then it's gonna be are we gonna make it up on Friday above the trend line, or are we gonna get rejected on the 12-hour candle Fibonacci right here below the trend line and continue down with the down move and tumble on down? That's what I see the market playing out this week. Let me now go to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is doing the same shit. Also, there's a 3 candle box for Bitcoin. That's very fucking bad, very fucking good and bad. Pretty much the way it's playing, this is your last support of the floating, I call it the floating island. After Bitcoin created new all-time high, it was on a floating island. And that island is about to fucking finally get drilled through and break and fall down. That's what this. And then think about it. We close this day at 5 p.m. So, yeah, this is it right here. This is either gonna be the last leg either to save us, and we're gonna shoot somewhere up here or up here tomorrow, or we're gonna fucking break. We're gonna break this, and we're gonna be somewhere down here in these prices, which is your first target is gonna be that price. The second one is gonna be right there. We'll most likely close somewhere here below the 1111 and what is that? 109. If we had the bad news tomorrow, and depending on, but then the market as we get closer to the morning, we depending because we still have Jackson, so even though we drop tomorrow through the nighttime, we may try to recover and up. And again, It's gonna be this week. It's either gonna recover and up, and we're gonna close somewhere here still bullish, or this week it's gonna end up closing bad, and we're gonna end up somewhere down here. And then you're gonna start hearing about is this it for the market, how we peaked, this is that. You're gonna hear from all crypto and New York stocks, especially the S&P 500 and whatnot. Um, and let me see if anything else I forgot to mention for Bitcoin. Yeah, because it's gonna be pretty much it. So that daily, this daily is key. This daily is key. Already bucks it up. So depending how we play out tomorrow. Also, we've been on this downtrend line, 8-hour trend line. So if I go to my 8-hour right here, and I go to Bitcoin, we've been in a downtrend. So this is telling me right here, tomorrow it's gonna follow the S&P 500. It's probably gonna end up breaking that trend line and closing up here somewhere, Bitcoin. Or it's gonna fucking, like I said, it's gonna be bad news and the market's gonna drop like crazy tomorrow. Not just that, but with you already mentioned it. It's on a trend line. It's on a weekly trend line. See right here, my bad. See right here, connection, and that's where we are right now. And that weekly trend line is this blue one right here. Watch. I know it's confusing with all my fucking bullshit. That weekly trend line is right here. So what I normally do, I'll mark it up. That way I can see it, and I'll put weekly trend line. And I'll do it in blue, light blue. That way I know it's a weekly line. So there you have it. So as the market goes, as the data comes out, this daily 3 candle box, if it's bad news, will complete, and the market will shoot down most likely here. And then yes, this is we're on treacherous waters, you guys. We're fucking gotta be very careful, you guys, on buying crypto, whatever coin you're buying, because we may dump. Well, this could be the bottom for now. Now let's go to, and Bitcoin's gonna follow S&P 500, and so is Ethereum. Ethereum and Bitcoin, like I keep saying, follow the S&P 500. Then you have your Ethereum, same downtrend. You also got, let me see if I have some sort of 3 candle box or something going on. Let me take this shit off. Where's it at? Oh, you technically kind of do, but you kind of don't. But the way this works out for Ethereum is, if we have bad news tomorrow, it's gonna be. If we have bad news tomorrow, it's gonna come down to that 50, and then it's gonna be on Friday if it's gonna be a make it, a break it, or sustain it on Friday. Watch if we have bad news tomorrow, or we're gonna close halfway tomorrow, and then Friday's gonna either be push on down even more, passing the 50, or closing on the 50. Damn, yeah, something like that's gonna happen. Watch, where Friday we're gonna close either by the 50 on the daily for Ethereum, and then over the weekend is, are we gonna sustain it, or are we gonna break it, or we're gonna break it below tomorrow? No, but that's too much. So I don't see it breaking it tomorrow. I either see it closing tomorrow halfway, and then Friday maybe is it gonna end up closing hitting the 50, or are we gonna get saved and go back up and have that form that V shape? Yeah. That's what I see, something like that. So and then Friday's gonna be our day, or like everybody's gonna be paying attention to what he's gonna be saying. Powell's gonna be saying, yeah, it's gonna be a crazy week. Hopefully the market dumps, because honestly it's just discount. That's discount. Every fucking smart person that's following the market, both markets, know that this is just a discount opportunity. Same thing with XRP. They're all saying the same thing. We're gonna and there's a 3 candle box right here on the daily for XRP. So tomorrow at 5 p.m., you're either gonna see XRP hitting fucking 255, 260, or you're gonna see it halfway and then it's gonna be on Friday. You're gonna see it have good news. It's gonna get saved, and then we're probably gonna close at 3, and then Friday's gonna be your. Are we gonna pass 3, or it's gonna put us on our place and bring us back down again? It's gonna be fucking very interesting this week. Yo, this week is gonna be fucking very interesting, especially the weekend, because he's probably gonna have to say something to keep us. Especially the market drops, he's gonna have to fucking do something this weekend to make the market open happy or be less worried, less mad at him. He's gonna say, "I just made a deal with Russia and blah 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 blah," and that's gonna bring the market somewhat up. It's gonna be very fucking interesting. Anyways, you guys, I've been too long here. Um, little T, what's up? Appreciate for subscribing. James, what is that, bro? Trading. It's I'm pretty much going over the market. I do options, a little bit of day trading, um, and I also invest long term. So I just like going over S&P, Bitcoin, and Ethereum, which are the big dogs, where it really tells you where everything else is gonna go. Um, are you sitting on a chair or not? No, bro, I'm on my bed actually. Cold mover, whoever that was. James, nah, bro, trading is hard. Just go to the casino and put it up. Nah, not if you follow me, bro. Um, James, if I have a weird way of looking at the market, um, and if you follow me, as uh, you'll see that I got something here, bro. I got something. Um, but yeah, I'm out, and yeah, take care, you guys.